afternoon, and welcome back to another edition of Triple Double. We're back in the lab, and I'm here with the fellas. I have Sean and Steve with me. We're going to jump right into it. Of course, I'm your host, Nicole. So, we all know that the preseason of basketball started as of last night, and we have the Rockets who defeated the Bulls with a score of 125 to 104. Fellas, answer me this. Just at first glance, do you feel like the Rockets are better off without James Harden or vice versa?
I go first, man, because I know Sean ain't come prepared today. Y'all doing all right today? You doing all right?
Let's go, man.
Okay.
I'm
All
good.
right. I was just trying to make
I
sure.
appreciate it.
I was trying to make sure. Man, Sean ain't ready today, so I'm going to go for it. I feel like James Harden do better in Houston. Now, I do like him going to a few other teams. I'll get there in a minute, but I do feel like him staying in Houston is not a bad thing. The reason I say that is because though he's played with a lot of superstars, I've seen everybody talk about it. You know, he's played with Westbrook. He's played with Dwight in Houston. He's played, with CP3 in Houston. All of these great players and supposed to be future Hall of Famers. But my thing is he's never played with two great superstars at one time. Though they're coming off an injury, I know your argument already before you gonna say the foolishness, Sean. Though they're coming off an injury, I do feel like John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins are great additions. They looked pretty decent last night. I know it's just a preseason. I also understand they both had limited minutes. I think John Wall played about 19 minutes. DeMarcus Cousins played 15 minutes, but he had 14 points. That's a point a minute. So I like the addition, and with how he plays the game, it is hard to play with Harden because he's so ball dominant. But I do believe they can gel and make it work. This is new coaching, new staff. They are rebuilding already. With a new team, they still got P.J. Tuck. They still got Eric Gordon. So I do think this is probably the best Houston team he's played for.
So if you're gonna take three sides to the argument, then maybe I just shouldn't be
Oh,
here. Then
my
maybe I just shouldn't be here. Then my thing is no. Harden needs to get out of there. I mean, there's nothing else to be said about it. Last year he averaged 34 points. 6 rebounds, seven assists. But at the end of the day, he's playing with John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins. Yes, they're coming off injuries. Last year, DeMarcus Cousins played 30 games and averaged 16 points and 8 rebounds. Like, are you serious? No. Are you saying that you're expecting him to last a whole 72-game season? Absolutely not. I'm not about to depend on DeMarcus Cousins for 72 games, and he just played 30. No, I'm not about to do that. Same thing for John Wall. We haven't seen him play in 2 years. Now, if he still comes back 26 and 8. I mean, it's still good enough, but it's still not going to be good enough for them to contend for a title. Are you depending that they're going to make it to the title? No. What I'm predicting is I'm predicting John Wall goes to the 76ers, which is the team I feel like
James
he should
Harden.
go to.
You said John.
James Harden, I'm sorry. James Harden needs to go to the 76ers for a trade for Ben Simmons. He's going to have Joel Embiid, Dwight Howard, a 40% three-point shooter, and Steph Curry. I mean, it's not, and not only that, he also has Danny Green. He's not the Danny Green of old, but he can still play defense. So my thing is, at the end of the day, if he's going to contend for a title, he needs to go to the 76ers because I don't want him over here with me at the Brooklyn Nets. We don't want him. We got too much depth. We got Karras. We got Allen, and I'm not trying to gut my whole team for just this one guy. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Can I just intrude a little bit? You done? Are you done?
I'm done.
I don't want to be disrespectful this week because I disrespected you a couple times last week, and I was tired of my phone ringing about that. But anyways, you're talking about a Philly team. Let's do the comparison. A Philly team, correct?
Correct.
That they're just as injury prone. Joel Embiid gets injured every year as well.
Correct.
Every season. Ben Simmons, and I know you're going to, probably go and say he should be a part of the trade. He gets injured. Doc Rivers unblew 3-1 series leads Twice in the last 5 years. I don't want to hear nothing about Doc. He needs Paul Pierce, Rondo, KG, and Kendrick Perkins. That's what he needs, and Paul Pierce, just to be a great coach. He had a stacked team, so I don't want to hear nothing about a championship because they were the best team and the most stacked team that season. They couldn't even get us two with that team. So I don't want to hear nothing about him coaching. I feel like he'll do better in Houston than he would in Philly. But now,
with his new coach, no.
yeah.
I highly disagree with that. I highly disagree.
Because
Go somewhere where the coach is already seasoned, who has already proved himself to be a champion and can make it work. He's not going to do all those extra 3 points and that their coach from D'Antoni did. He's not going to be doing all of that. Doc Rivers is a different coach who does dwell on defense. Okay. Go ahead.
But fellas, answer me this. So if you're the Rockets, do you still want James Harden though? Because you see what's going on now. He's had to take COVID tests. He's been seen, partying, just kind of making it really uncomfortable for the Rockets at this time. So if you're the Rockets, do you still want him because he's under contract and it doesn't matter if he wants to trade? Or do you just kind of want to deal him away and get the most that you can because he doesn't want to be there?
Deal him away. Deal him away. Get what you can for somebody who doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to be there. He's already out partying. He's out doing all sorts of things. He doesn't really care to even be with his team, in my opinion. So just go ahead and get what you can get for him. And then you already got a John Wall. If John Wall is who you say he is, if DeMarcus Cousins is who you say he is, then you might as well go ahead and go get a Ben Simmons who can at least add to your roster, add more depth to your roster, and get more draft picks for even in the longer term of years. So my thing is, why would you keep somebody who doesn't want to be kept? It makes no sense to me.
If I'm Houston and I'm the GM, I deal him away. I do deal him away. But to keep him,
why deal him away? I mean, you got John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins. Why?
That's just to answer Nicole's question. If I'm the GM, Sean,
okay,
I deal him away.
Okay.
But he has not played with two superstars of this magnitude since Oklahoma City to me, and to deal him to Doc Rivers, to play with a Embiid who doesn't take the game serious throughout the season. He plays a lot and all of these things, different things. I don't feel like, Philly is the place for him. I like the Golden State pick. I wish they wouldn't have passed up on him. I think Golden State should have got him, and just to, substitute him for Klay Thompson. But, hey, man, it is what it is. If they're going to get rid of Harden, they get rid of him. But I would like to see him there.
Well, yeah, if I'm the GM, unpopular opinion, I do not deal James Harden away. You are under contract. It is what it is. But we're going to turn the tables, and we're going to head over to some NFL. We have just completed Week 13 of the NFL, and as we all know, the Steelers are no longer undefeated. They are tied neck and neck with the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. So my question is this. Who suffered the biggest loss or the biggest upset, I should say, in Week 13 of the NFL? I'm going to go ahead and start with you, Sean. What you think?
Seattle Seahawks. And it's not even close. Seattle Seahawks has suffered the biggest loss. Your Russell Wilson, who was a MVP candidate. People had him even over Patrick Mahomes, which is nonsense. But they got Russell Wilson. I'm going to run you his numbers. 3,400 yards, fourth in the league, 32 touchdowns, second in the league, 11 interceptions, and a QBR of 70, which is also 11th in the league. Is that something that can take you over the top? That game was supposed to be decided in the first quarter, in the first half. I mean, you're going against Colt McCoy, who's a rookie, and he has no experience whatsoever in these big type of games. So my thing is, and the spread was by 10 points. You can't win by 10 points. You can't win at all. So and the most you can only get out of that is 12 points. I disagree with that. I feel like that was the biggest upset because of that magnitude. And then not only that, Colt McCoy, he only threw 100 yards. 100 yards, one touchdown, and one interception. Are you kidding me, Russell Wilson? So I totally I agree with the fact that Russell Wilson is the biggest upset of this week.
I actually like that pick. I do like that pick. I do feel like that they should have beat the Giants, most definitely. They should have beat the Giants. They went into halftime up 5-0. They got that lucky safety off the punt return. They blocked it. They went up. And the Giants, their offense is in the bottom 10 in the league. So I do feel like they should have made some stops, but the Seahawks defense is in the bottom 10 of the league. So it kind of played a part, but I do feel like Russell Wilson was the best player in that game. He is a top 3 candidate in the MVP race, along with my boy Aaron Rodgers, who you did not mention, which was disrespectful, because you just so happened to mention Pat Mahomes, so mention A-Rod, who's in the second spot for the MVP race. But that's another story, a whole nother topic for a whole nother day, Sean Teasy. So, but my thing is this, man. This is my thing. I feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers was the biggest upset, though. I do like the Giants and the Seahawks game, but I feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers was the biggest upset only because, and this is facts. They were up 14-zip. They went to halftime up 14-3, and then they dropped the ball, and for the rest of the game, they were outscored 23-3. 23-3. You know what I'm saying? To a team that was 4-7. You know what I'm saying? And I love the Steelers, but they were 11-0. And these last 2 weeks, week 12, they barely got out of it. They almost dropped the ball, but week 13, they did drop the ball. We were expecting more from them. Our expectations were for them to become 16-0. You even said it on the show last week. You think they were going to become 16-0, that they had an easy path, they had a cakewalk, and they couldn't get it done to a team that don't even have a name. They don't have a name. They're just the Washington team, and I do think that was the biggest upset.
Ron Rivera is a great coach, though. Yes. He's a great coach with a top 10 defense, even though they are the Washington football team. Yeah. So my thing is, when you challenge that against a team that has no running game, you can win those ball games. Yeah. And that's the thing. Their record, they have no quarterback. So that's why their record stands where it is. But when it comes to the biggest upset, it's definitely Russell Wilson. Also, he threw for 263 yards, 27 completions, and you can only give me 1 touchdown? Are you serious? You know what I'm saying? 12 points. 12 points. No, the Steelers, are they undefeated? Yes, but were they undefeated? Excuse me. Yes, but at the same time, you're going against Ron Rivera and a defense that was just out of this world. So I top 10 at least. So my thing is, I totally disagree with that take.
Did you argue Washington football team last week? No, you didn't, Sean. You said they were going 16-0. When I said that they couldn't, you said I sound like a fool and all of that crazy stuff. So make your argument make sense. I think that they should have won this game. The game that I think that I thought they would have dropped would have been against the Titans or even the Colts, but they dropped it against Washington. Washington does have a great coaching staff. Their defense is top 10, but the Steelers are one of the best defensive teams in the league. They have a great historic quarterback in Big Ben. You know what I'm saying? Who's a champion? Who know how to get it done? I feel like this would have stamped his career a little more to go undefeated. Everybody can't say that. Only Brady can, and he lost in the Super Bowl. But again, I ain't trying to throw no shots
this
week
at Joe God. You didn't have to bring that part up. I ain't gonna throw no shots at Joe God this week. I'm sorry. Okay,
I
but
apologize.
You didn't have to bring that part up.
So, fellas, my only thing is I kind of agree with Steve because it's very hard to have a fluent offense when you're constantly on your back. Russell Wilson was sacked 5 times. What? Their defense is terrible. So it's like, how do you really expect them to get into a groove and to get into the game if his O-line is not protecting him?
Is he not an MVP candidate?
MVP candidates still get sacked.
They do, but at the same time, if he's an MVP candidate, he should be able to pull that game through. That's what my take is. I just feel like he should be able to pull that game through. If you're Russell Wilson is better than Ben Roethlisberger. Wrong or right? We got to understand that right there. If you're going against Colt McCoy, a backup who only threw for 100 yards. Russell Wilson threw for 263. So my thing is, how can you not throw at least another touchdown or get your team into field goal range to where they can be able to kick some field goals and get the job done?
I just got one more thing. When I said holding a quarterback who's an MVP candidate in Russell Wilson to that standard last week when I said it about Tom Brady, you almost cussed my behind out for saying that statement. So I just want to move on from that because that was blasphemous.
We have to leave it there, fellas.
Was
But speaking of quarterbacks, I want to kind of jump over to Philadelphia. So Carson Wentz has been benched, and Jalen Hurts has been named the starter for the Philadelphia Eagles. My question is Jalen Hurts the answer for the Eagles? Has the problem been solved? I'll start with you, Steve.
I don't think Jalen Hurts is the answer. I wouldn't say he's the answer at all. I mean, great guy, great quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Played for Oklahoma. I like the guy, but I don't think he's the answer. I actually like Carson Wentz. I think if they builded a better team around him, I know last year they had a lot of injuries. They built a better team around him. I think they could have been in a better predicament. But my thing is, I do believe Wentz is the problem. I will say that. I feel like the only reason he's the problem, though, is because he doesn't have the weapons that he should have. He's leading the league in interceptions. He had 15 interceptions. And the last, I think the last 3 previous years, correct me if I'm wrong, Shine, he only had 7. So he doubled it, and the season ain't even over yet. So I do believe, the benching might work, but I don't think Jalen Hurts is the answer. I think they should go on rebuilding mode, try to find something else. But I know the NFL don't work like other sports, so they got to deal with what they have and the pieces they have as of now to finish off the season. But they started off the season wrong. They did start off the season bad. They started off in the first 6 games, they were 1-4-1 with the tie. So I do think, they could do better. And Carson Wentz could have had a better season. He could have at least, brung his players up. That's what a leader do. Bring your players to your caliber. But, as the coaching staff and as the front office should do, they should build a better team around him.
Carson Wentz is a bust. He is horrible.
Not a bust.
Horrible.
Not a bust.
Horrible. Oh, horrible. Definitely you move on with Jalen Hurts, a person who also came in the game that same day in the 4th quarter with 11 minutes left, and on his first drive, he throws for a touchdown.
Oh.
So you mean to tell me you rather Jalen Hurts not be the answer? Are you saying Jalen Hurts isn't the answer? Or is Jalen Hurts the answer? Because he's definitely going to be the answer for this team. Do they have enough pieces? Yeah, they don't. But do they have a better quarterback? I agree. I definitely feel they have a better quarterback. Carson Wentz is at the bottom half of the league when it comes to QBR. 16 touchdowns on the year, 15 interceptions. I mean, you can't win a division with that quarterback. And it's terrible because he's in the worst division in the league. So how do you not get that done with somebody who was once an MVP candidate? You can't win 5 games? You can't win 6 games? Come on now. Come on.
I just think that Carson Wentz has been hit with a couple of rough years. That's what I really think. I do feel like he is not at the top of his game. Of course, right now he has literally not performed up to par. However, I think you have to put some of that on the coaching. Like, I don't think Jalen Hurts is the answer, and I also don't think that Doug Peterson is the answer. What do you think, Steve?
You bring up the most crazy argument that I could have possibly heard. You said Jalen Hurts gets in, and on his first drive, he scores a touchdown. I mean, anybody could have did that, Sean.
Why didn't Carson?
Why didn't Carson? Has had drives throughout this season where it just took one drive for him to score a touchdown. I mean, it's not that easy to do. But I'm saying it could have happened to the worst quarterbacks in the league. I mean, anybody could have did it, Sean. Anybody. So to make that your argument, I feel like that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And to say he's a bust, he doesn't have the pieces.
He lost it. He doesn't have it anymore. He just doesn't. He doesn't. What team, what quarterback could he play? Who could be his? What team could he play for in this league that could benefit from Carson Wentz? Nobody. Jalen Hurts, he comes in off the bench, hot off the bench where he should have been starting at the top of the season.
Oh, no.
He should have been he should have been starting at the top of the season. Carson Wentz is terrible.
No.
Carson Wentz, he leaves the game. First of all, Jalen Hurts actually made it more competitive. Had they not got that touchdown. Green Bay not got that last touchdown at the last 5 minutes of the game. He made it competitive because they got a touchdown on a punt return. So it's obvious that they actually respond better with Jalen Hurts.
Can I tell you something, man? It's not that easy, to be on the same field as a quarterback looking at the opposite end at Aaron Rodgers. It's just not that easy. It's not that easy. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers, had one terrible game, and that was against Brady. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to make no excuses for my guys like you make excuses for yours. But, it's tough. And I'm not going to say he's a bust. I'm not giving up on Carson Wentz just yet. I'm not going to throw in the towel on him.
So you want him to stay the quarterback for the rest of the season?
Yes.
Give him a chance. Oh, are you serious? He had chances.
Son, can you listen?
He had chances.
Let him finish out this season, sir. Can he finish out this season? And then give him a chance. He doesn't have weapons. You even said it. He does not even have the weapons.
Although he doesn't have the weapons, why do you still – okay, so what's the point of still continuing him throughout the season? See what you have in Jalen Hurts. Let's try to make it – It's the season is still – the division is still up for grabs.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? They would just have to win out. But my thing is Jalen Hurts, see what you have in Jalen Hurts. So now when it's time for draft time, you know what you can draft around that guy instead of Carson Wentz. You know what you have in Carson Wentz. He's not – no, man, they're not good.
We have to wrap it up, fellas.
3-8? Are you kidding me? Come on.
We have to wrap it up, fellas. We're going to leave it there. Money talks. That is one thing that is very true. Let's get over to some boxing. So we have Floyd Money Mayweather accepting a fight with Logan Paul. Is it really all about the money, or does Floyd Money Mayweather really want to fight? What you think, Sean?
Oh yeah, it's definitely all about the money in my opinion. I definitely feel it's all about the money. Here you have a guy who's 50-0 going against a YouTube star who has 2.6 million followers. Granted, hey, that's cool, but the fact is, I feel like he's doing this because of how everybody clowned Nate Robinson. I feel like this is something that he could be doing for Nate. Everybody clowned Nate for being in the ring. They talked about him being knocked out, knees, and all that stuff. So what better way to get back at him than to, go ahead and just go against his brother, I guess. That's what I feel like, because it's no comparison. This dude only has one loss in boxing. He only has one loss, Logan Paul. He only has one loss in boxing. So, and then your second opponent is a undefeated boxer, billionaire. Come on, I feel like it's just all about the money at this point, because Floyd's bored, so he just likes the hype. That's my thing.
Floyd Money Mayweather, and I'm gonna say this, and I know a lot of people gonna disagree with me with this. I feel like he is in it for the money as well. But, Sean, you can't so much say, you're just saying it as if he just want the money. He doesn't need it.
He likes recognition.
He does. And that's what it really is. It's really the recognition. And, I've been on record saying this a couple times. I feel like Floyd pays for a couple of his fights. I know Nicole probably like Floyd Money Mayweather. I don't know for real. But I ain't really the biggest fan of Floyd. But to take this fight, such caliber of Logan Paul, who's an amateur fighter. He's really not a boxer. Just to take this fight, and he's retired. And people has been calling him out. Real boxers has called Floyd Money Mayweather to the stage and said, no, forget retirement. Come fight me. Come box with me. And he hasn't taken a fight. So I feel like, he's just doing this just because.
First of all, Steve, I will have you know I am not the biggest Floyd Money Mayweather fan. But I will say, and I know you are about to crucify me, I know he is undefeated, but I really feel like he is slightly overrated.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Because he was on his heels fighting Manny Pacquiao.
Yes,
I agree.
So who's to say that Logan Paul won't knock him out like he did Nate Robinson?
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, when it comes to Logan Paul, they don't have what it takes to you have to have enough on your resume to even talk Floyd Money Mayweather, in my opinion, when it comes to Logan Paul. So my thing is, it's literally, he's going to be just getting back at his brother Jake just because Jake knocked out Nate. I feel like more than anything, this fight is going to be decided just in a few rounds. It's not going to go the long length and go to the end like how Mike and Roy Jones went. So My thing is, and another thing, last point, Conor McGregor. He beat Conor McGregor because Conor McGregor was fatigued. He didn't have the enough on his resume for boxing for you to even box. Like, so it's the same thing for Logan Paul, and he just talking all this trash when he's on YouTube. So he's saying all this. He got all these people around him, so who's supporting what he does, obviously. But in my opinion, I feel like it's gonna be fatigue that's gonna take him out once again. Once we're gonna have another fatigue fight, and it's gonna be KO or TKO, and it's gonna be lopsided.
It's just the thrown together thing. I agree, but I just want to say this: Floyd Money Mayweather does, and I don't like him like that, and I don't, support him, but he does have one of the best training squads. I don't think he's going to be fatigued. I don't think he will.
No, not.
You're talking about Logan Paul?
Yeah, I'm talking about Logan Paul.
Just like Conor McGregor.
Just like Conor McGregor. No.
Yeah, Conor McGregor, he's a UFC fighter. He's not a boxer. He shouldn't have stepped in the ring with Floyd, but, it is what it is.
It's a lifestyle when it comes to Mayweather. It's a lifestyle. This is just all he's done. You know what I'm saying? So, and when it comes to Logan Paul, you're a YouTube star, so you're gonna talk trash. You're gonna say what you can to get what you can. You know what I'm saying? So you're trying to gain followers. So
agreed. But it is going to be something to see, and I'm not going to lie, I will be tuned in. Let's take a hard turn really quick. We're going to go back to basketball. Preseason has started. I really want to see how you all feel about the teams, and some starters played last night, some starters didn't play last night, but we're going to dive right into this. I'm going to start with Sean on this. I want you to give me your top 3 teams on the East as well as the West. We know you're going to start off with the Nets. What else is new? Go ahead.
First of all, don't do that to me. Let's not do that, people. But she is right. We're going to start off with the East, and we're going to go ahead and roll with the Brooklyn Nets as the number 1 seed. And I have number 2. You may not like this, Steve. I actually have the 76ers as the number 2 spot. Coming from the East, coming out of the East for the 2nd spot. And then thirdly, I don't think you're going to like this one. I have Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks as the 3rd best team in the East. And when it comes, now we're going to transition over to the West. I actually have a great point guard by the name of Damian Lillard, who's going to be number 1 on the West. I have him.
What?
I have the Lakers at number 2. And I have Dallas at number 3. Those are my predictions for the Eastern and Western conferences. The reason why, now let me go ahead and elaborate really quickly. The reason why I have the Lakers 2nd is because LeBron James is actually going to take a lot of time this year. He's going to take time off. He's going to have some games where he's going to be missing. He's going to be having minutes that's going to be restricted. So I don't feel as they're not going to be the number 1 seed. I feel like Damian Lillard has a lot to be proven. He has a lot of great pieces around him. You got Rodney Hood, who's a great shooter, who's a great defensive player as well. You got Derrick Jones. You got Robert Covington. I mean, he has more people who he can take the load off of with. And so I feel like he's going to have a lot to prove when it comes to these games.
Listen, world, I apologize for my partner. I'm sorry that he said such a crazy statement.
Blasphemy.
That was for sure blasphemy. I'm going to start with the East right now. I'm just so appalled, man. My heart is racing because he said that idiotic statement, man. That was idiotic, John. That had to be one of the most foolish things you ever said in your life, John. And I hadn't heard you say some foolish stuff, but that was crazy. Listen, I don't think Philly is going to be top 3. I got the Nets at 1. I still got the Bucks up there. And I'm kind of like rocky between Toronto and Miami, but I'm going to give it to Miami. They coming off of a nice championship run in the Eastern Conference championship run. I like them. Jimmy Buckets. He proved me wrong this year. You love Jimmy, Sean, and I don't even like him, but he proved me wrong this year. Little Tyler Hero, Duncan, all of those fellas, Crowder, and them, they didn't add no pieces. They
Crowder's
still got Big
gone,
Bam. They still got Big Bam. I like them. I like them. They fight hard. They try hard. And now they have put the world on notice. So I do think because the world now is on notice, I do think, that they are going to be better. Atlanta is in your top 3.
Yep.
Trae Young?
Yes.
Man, you got to get
Yes.
off this bandwagon.
Yes.
They're not better than Boston and Jason Tatum. Let me get to my West because I can't wait for this next topic that we're getting ready to go into too. I couldn't wait to get to the next topic. But my West team, I got the Lakers at 1. I got the Clippers at 2. And then I'm Rocky. It depends on if Harden stays. I like the team they got. If Harden stays, I think Houston is top 3. But if he doesn't, I got Denver.
You have the
because
Clippers.
I like Jokic and I love Jamal Murray.
So,
they prove me
so
wrong.
you have the Clippers going back to the number 2 spot
Yes.
with no Montrez,
Yes.
right? So no big man.
Ibaka is better than Montrez.
Okay, but Ibaka was getting work last night against Montrez.
God, are you serious?
Still, yes,
serious?
yes.
He's
Or
a
is that
better
just
form.
still preseason? Are we just still
Yes.
saying that? Okay,
And
if that's
that's
the
what
case, so if that's the case, then DeMarcus Cousins is going to be terrible. That's what you're telling me then.
No.
It's still preseason.
He's ready.
It's
He's
still
ready.
preseason.
He's
So my thing is, when it comes to the Clippers, I feel like they're gonna definitely take a hard step back. They have no point guard. You're still gonna rely on Pat Bev, and then they have. Who are you banking on?
Lakers
Zubac.
is killing Portland.
But you're banking on Zubac for the 2.
The Lakers and the Clippers are better in Portland. Case
They
closed.
have more firepower. They have more depth.
Carmelo Anthony, who had a good preseason
Carmelo
game.
Anthony.
He had a good preseason game last
He
night.
didn't. Oh no,
20 points.
I'm not.
We banking on
Carmelo.
that. He's old, son.
Carmelo
He's
had a
old.
great year for his standards last year.
Fellas,
In totality.
fellas, why do I feel like you all are disrespecting Nick Nurse and the Toronto Raptors?
I said that.
I'm disrespecting.
You barely
I'm
wanted to
disrespecting.
mention
I did.
them.
I'm
did
disrespecting.
One thing about me, fellas, I don't put any stock into the Boston Celtics. Am I wrong for that?
Me neither. But I feel like Boston is better than Atlanta. They're not in my top 3. I got the Nets, the Bucks, and Miami. I got Boston probably at 5 or 6, but they better.
You
than
got the
Atlanta.
Nets at where?
They're number 1.
Okay.
Barely over the Bucks. Probably 2 games.
Barely.
2 games behind.
Barely? No. I definitely totally disagree. The Raptors is gonna be they're gonna be a 5 or 6 seed.
Sure.
They may squeeze the 4th, but it's gonna be a game decided. But it's kind of hard to tell because now you got to throw the Wizards in the mix. So I don't know where would I even put the
Westbrook fan.
Raptors.
Thank you for that, Sean.
You do not have to throw the
What,
Wizards.
you know what?
in
The Wizards
mix.
will be the 7th seed. Now that I think about it, it just dawned on me. Excuse me. Go ahead.
Okay, Sean, you don't have to throw the Wizards in the mix. And you can have Giannis in the top 3, but I'm sorry, you cannot have the Bucks in the top 3. So it's a no for me. So staying still on basketball, I really want to ask because you all have the most controversial picks of all time, specifically you, Sean. So I want to know if you all agree with ESPN's top 10 picks in the order that they were given. I'm going to start with you, Steve.
I do not believe that list was actually right. Now, I like the 10 names that they have. You know, they have LeBron at 1, Anthony Davis at 2, Giannis, the reigning MVP, at 3, Luka at 4, you know, and Kawhi at 5. I mix it up a little bit. You know, I wanted to mix it up a little bit only because, you know, I don't think that that's the exact order. I feel like they disrespected KD. You know, I know he's coming off of an injury.
Definitely.
I know, Nicole, he's coming off of an injury, but I got KD at 2. And how can you possibly put Anthony Davis at number 2? You know what I'm saying? And disrespect Giannis, who's coming off a back-to-back MVP award winning, and have him at number 3 behind Anthony Davis. I think he's at number 3. I got AD at number 4. I have AD at number 4, and you gotta give it to my boy Kawhi. I know he had the disappointment in the playoffs. I got him at rounding off my top 5. Harden at my 6th spot. You know what I'm saying? I believe I got my boy Dame at the 7th spot, and you know I like it. I like the names that they had. You know, Steph, Luka, and then you know I finished with Nikola Jokic. I feel like those are the best 10 players going into this season, Sean. But I just do not believe that it was in order. The disrespect of Kevin Durant and to put Luka so high. He's my guy, though. He's my favorite young guy in the league. You know, you hear it here first. But I don't think, you know, that they had it right.
I totally disagree with this list. It's very highly disrespectful. The fact that you have Kevin Durant at the sixth spot. They have Kevin. They no. I mean, they have Kevin Durant at the sixth spot, and the fact that they also have Luka so high at the four. I totally disagree, and most definitely I agree with you when it comes to Anthony Davis, who's over Giannis for the number 2 spot in the league. I disagree with that, but I do have a list of my own, and so I have Kevin Durant, of course, at the number 1 spot because he's gonna come back better than ever. I have Giannis at the number 2 spot. I have LeBron James at the 3, Damian Lillard at the 4, Anthony Davis at the 5, Luka at the 6, Kawhi Leonard 7, James Harden, Devin Booker, and Trae Young.
Sean, I'm not even going to let you elaborate on that stupid list. You have Trae Young and Devin Booker over all of these great players. You got, no, he had Kawhi on his list. You got Steph, and you got all of these guys. You're comparing them to LeBron James, Giannis. You're comparing them to Kevin Durant. And to say Kevin Durant is going to come back off this injury and then you downplay DeMarcus Cousins and John Wall earlier in the show, that's
Kevin
crazy.
Durant is going to be the best in the league.
No, he's
going to be the best.
I got him at second.
The league is about what have you done for me lately. I do not understand.
That's football. That's football.
No, that's in the world. What
in the
have you
world.
done for me
Thank you,
lately? It is blasphemy.
If that's the case, then we can't have Kevin Durant on the list at all.
LeBron James, no, you
Absolutely.
Oh my God, are you serious? When this upcoming, now you get disrespectful. Now you get disrespectful. Put this camera on me. Now you get disrespectful. Because Kevin Durant, that he's not about to come back the best player on this team, you gotta be crazy.
It's a hard 6.
You gotta be
He's
crazy.
at a hard number 6.
Oh my
Sean,
God.
I don't
Listen,
like
what
him at
have
6.
you done for me lately? So why is he even in the list at all? So you're contradicting
No,
yourself.
I'm just trying to appease you a little bit. I'm giving you.
Don't appease me. Don't appease me.
Well, I won't put him on the list.
honest.
I won't put him on the list.
honest.
I
Oh,
don't
my
like him
God.
at 6, Sean.
Oh,
I don't like him at 6.
my
I got him
God.
at 2. You know what I'm saying? You can argue 3 because Giannis is coming off back-to-back MVPs. The reason I got Giannis in front of AD is because Giannis is actually leading the team alone.
Absolutely.
Anthony Davis has
Absolutely
help.
agree.
LeBron has to be one. He's coming off a championship. He's the MVP in the finals where it matters the most. But Sean, Trae Young.
I have Trae Young
Devin
because I
Booker.
feel like Atlanta is going to make some noise come this near season. They're gonna make noise just like Devin Booker. Devin Booker is gonna ball
Trae
out
Young
this year.
not even better than Kyrie, Sean. Come on, man.
Yes, he is. I would say Trae Young is better than Kyrie.
Thank you.
I would.
This is
I would.
heated,
I would.
fellas.
I would give you that.
This is
I'll give you
heated,
that.
fellas, but unfortunately, we have to wrap it up. We have to leave it there for today. What a great show we had. I'm not sure what Sean had before the show, but I will make sure that he does not have it on the next
Please.
show. Please remember to like us and subscribe and make sure you follow us. It's been Triple Double. We out.